The card I'm going to show you today is made with the stamp set Moving Forward. And this stamp set is our Ronald McDonald House Charities designated set for this year. You can find it in our new catalog on the back inside cover. It's right here, Moving Forward, and you can see it's got 7 different stamps that come in this set. And what's awesome about this is every year Stampin' Up! Designates one stamp set for the Ronald McDonald House Charities, and this is the one this year, and for every stamp set sold, Stampin' Up! Donates $3 to the charity, in addition to their corporate sponsorship that they do every year as well. So I'm going to use the sailboat and the little frog on the card that I'm going to show you today. And to start, I'm going to take this piece of Baja Breeze cardstock. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I'm going to do some texture on this using the Big Shot, and so I'm going to start with that just so I can move my Big Shot out of the way and continue with the project. This is the Chevron embossing folder. It's one of our new ones. So I'm just going to set the cardstock in there, put it between my cutting pads on tab 1, and crank it through to get the texture. I really like this new folder. It has a lot of depth between the zigzags, so you can really see a lot of texture on that. So I'll set the Big Shot aside, and the base of the card for this one is Midnight Muse. It's one of our new in colors. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, which I just fold over to make the base of the card. And then I also took, so it'll set like this in just a moment, I took this small piece of Gumball green, and this one is 4 inches by 2 inches. And to start with all of my layers here, I'm going to put some snail adhesive on the back and attach this to the Baja Breeze cardstock. And then I'm going to use my 1/16 hole punch. This is a tiny, tiny punch. And just put a hole off to the side here on the top and bottom. And in those holes I'm going to use some of our silver mini brads. These are tiny little things. Just put it in the hole, and then on the back I pry the legs apart like that. And then what I like to do when I use brads in addition to that is I just push my thumb down on each of the brads, and you can just kind of feel it flatten out a little bit more. It just makes it a little more secure. And then I will use some more adhesive. I tend to use more on pieces that have all of this texture, just because with the texture there's actually less surface area that really connects with the cardstock. So I just want to make sure I have enough to keep it on there securely. And I'll center this on the front. So this is the base of our card, ready for the focal point. And that, of course, is where the stamps come in. So this is the stamp I'm going to start with, the sailboat, and you can see that it's got thinking of you on the bottom. For this particular project, I really don't want those words, so what I'm going to do is use markers and actually omit those words. This is the Baja Breeze marker, which is the same color as the cardstock that I used. And then this is our new in color marker assortment. And out of this assortment, I am going to pull out both the Midnight Muse and the Gumball green. If you're not familiar with Stampin' Up!, one of the best things about Stampin' Up! Is the, of course, quality of our product, but the color coordination that we have. So you can see that these colors of markers all coordinate with the colors of cardstock that I have here. Same thing with the ink pads, most of our embellishments. So you don't have to guess what's going to match. Everything intentionally coordinates. So with the marker, there's a fine point end designated by this skinny little line here, and then the wider line is the brush end. I'm going to use the brush end and just flip this over and set it down on the table. I'm going to use the side of the brush end and color the boat with Baja Breeze, and then the sail up here too, little flag. Just make sure everything is done on there. And then I'm going to take the Midnight Muse marker, and I'm going to do this piece right here on the stamp. And then the tiny little dot at the top of the sail. Now, the key to this, because it's been a while since I colored this first part, So what I'm going to do, and you're not going to be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it, I'm going to huff with my breath on the stamp. So I'm going to go, and the moisture from your breath just magically makes that ink better, easier to stamp with. So it just kind of makes it fresh again, and you'll get your good solid image like this. Excuse me. The next thing I want to do is take this little frog stamp that comes with the set, and I could certainly just do this with a Gumball green ink pad, but since I have the marker assortment, I just pull this out and easily color on it with that as well. So the markers I intentionally wanted to use on here to give me two different colors and to omit the thinking of you. With the frog, it could have easily been done with the markers or the ink pad. So I'm just going to stick him kind of jumping over here on the boat like this, and I'll put some adhesive on this layer. This, I don't remember if I told you, is 2 1/4 by 2 1/2 inches, and the Midnight Muse is 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. Use some dimensionals on the back here, and just peel off this little backing that comes on there. If you ever have trouble where they don't come off, one little trick is to take your thumbnail and just push down like that, and you may have noticed how that popped right up. Sometimes they're harder than other times to get off, so that's just a little trick if you have a hard time ever. And so just set that right on there, and there's the finished card. So remember, this is a great opportunity not only to make cute cards, but to also support the Ronald McDonald House Charities. Thank you for watching my video. For daily creative inspiration, visit my blog or find me on Facebook at Jody Reinert Stamps.